call Pledge of Allegiance.
Ray, Rich.
Start over, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. We'll call the Pledge of Allegiance, the meeting to order for June 24th for the Safety Board, and we will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Am I getting this
Your
right?
microphone wasn't on. I'm sorry, you gotta do it a third time.
Okay, third time. Last time. We'll call the meeting to order for the Safety Board for June 21st, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, made it through that. Roll call, please.
Richard Janowick,
Here.
Robert Kometz,
Here.
Patrick Moran.
Here.
Steve DeYoung is absent. Raymond Paradiso.
Here.
Chief Flores.
Here.
Chief LeDuc.
Here.
Mike Schilling, liaison, is absent this evening. Adam Decker, our attorney.
Here.
Joseph Wizawati, our town manager.
Here.
And Chief Deputy Clerk Katie Shabansky.
All right, I need a motion for the approval of minutes for our May 16th, 2022 meeting.
So moved. I'll second it.
You got a motion by Ray Paradiso, second by Rob Kometz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next, oath of office. Firefighter Officer J. Aaron?
The Yarman, you did good.
Yarman, and after that, I believe Police Officer P. Fabian.
Yes.
So I believe that's next. So I guess we'll start with Firefighter Demarion.
Jeremiah.
I remember when we interviewed.
I, Jeremiah DeYoung,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and diligently discharge all my duties as firefighter EMT
discharge all my duties as firefighter EMT
of the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana,
of the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana,
according to law
according to law
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Unless you really want to, let's spin him up a badge real quick. You have some stuff to say. Jeremiah's badge number 28. Congratulations, Jeremiah.
Okay, then Police Officer P. Fabian.
Take pictures here shortly. Before we get started, I'll give you guys a brief synopsis here on Officer Fabian. He came from us to us from the Chicago Police Department with many years of service with them. He came here as a lateral hire to fill a vacancy that we had here. He's got a lot of great training. He's been involved in a lot of different details in his tenure so far as a police officer, and we're very excited to have him. He already started working with us already to get his training started and to get him on the book. So tonight we're doing this as the ceremonial swearing in for him already. So there, he's already has his badge and all that already. But we're happy to have him, excited to have him, and looking forward to getting him solo patrol on his own and get him started. And we're welcoming him into the family. So we'll go ahead and get started.
I, Philip Fabian, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and diligently discharge all my duties as a police
all the pictures you like.
Sure.
You guys want to come up for a picture?
And then we'll do fire afterwards. That is the way it should be, we know. Thank you.
No, I got it.
Hey, nice to meet you. Hi. Good, how are you? Good, come on in. You guys, I'll get you
Do you need to be in
a
there?
picture of you guys, and then I'll get one. Fabian family. All right.
All right, Jeremiah. Family. Do you want you and your dad first, or your family, and then we get everyone else up here? Front center. Too far in the time. Do me take your phone? Take a look. One here. You're such a jerk.
You didn't get me in there, did you?
Oh my goodness, I'm having problems. There we go.
Local hero.
I'm so proud.
I got mine.
Guys, want to come up and get a picture of Jeremiah real quick?
I was gonna say, I need you in there.
Oh, you need them all?
Yep, sorry.
Hey,
Just a minute, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Just look forward. Look at the microphone.
Okay. All that blinking ruins half the pictures.
No, we're glad to have. Somebody snort?
I think they did.
Yep.
Thank you. Getting worse. I'm at the golf course at 5:30 in the morning.
Definitely weekday.
That's why I'm just starting.
Okay, everybody ready? If everybody's ready, please. Next, we have the Police Director Towing Services opening and reviewing of proposals.
Okay. The notices were published on May 20th in the Times and the Post Tribune. The advertisement stated the town was, may award 2-year contracts to up to 4 contractors, and copies of the proof and publications were attached. The 2 that were picked up and turned back in were by Stan's Towing and Kubiak, so those are the only 2 that went out and we received, and they were both returned in a timely manner. So again, we have the 2, and also, like I said before, we had discussed of moving the contract from 1 year to 2 year, moving forward once this goes through. So what I'm looking for is once we get these openings, make sure everything's squared away with these. I'll have Attorney Decker review them real quick, and then I'll be looking for a favorable recommendation from the Safety Board to present this to the council for the 2-year contract with the firms. Okay. The first one is from Stan's Towing. Okay, and another thing that we also discussed, which I'm also going to recommend, a favorable recommendation to the council, of raising the increase for the tows from 125, which we had for many years, and raising it to 185, which is comparable to all the other surrounding towns. We did an analysis of different towns around here, and that's pretty much the going rate. So I'd like to also increase that to 185. So currently on the paperwork, it's 125, but moving forward, we wanted to, if this gets approved, to 185 as well, too. So I'd need a favorable recommendation for that with the increase to 185 and a 2-year contract.
All right, I had the first motion be that you're going to go ahead with it then, or?
I'm going to review these. I just wanted to make that, make you aware of that, so when I go forward with it,
Right.
that's in the recommendation, or in the motion, I should say. Okay, looks like all the paperwork is filled out correctly with all the amounts and all the information that was requested in the packet. It's signed by the manager, Daniel Lukasik, and also notarized as noted. They have their certificate of liability insurance. It looks like it's current. And they have a couple other their business recognition through the town of Cherville that they also tow for. The West Surety Company licensed and bonded, and they have all the required information regarding their drivers. And that looks like it's complete to me, and I'll give this to Attorney Decker to review. And then I'll open the second one, which is from Kubiak's Towing. Okay, looks like they have all the required information as well, which is signed by the owner, Joseph Kubiak, and it's notarized as well, as noted. And they have a certificate of liability insurance included. Yeah, it appears that all is well with that one too. Okay, Chief.
Okay, we're all set?
We have to wait, see, make sure he okays it. Once he reviews it, then we'll go ahead and move forward with the motion.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't think there'll be any decisions made tonight.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought we're done. You were going to review them later like we did last year and let us know for the next meeting.
I will do so.
Okay,
Okay.
alrighty.
Okay, monthly reports from May, Fire Department?
All right, in the month of May for EMS, we had a total of 113 patient contacts. Of that 113 patient contacts, 71, which is 87%, went ALS 1. 11 were transported to BLS, which is 13%. Again, vast majority of our patients, 72% are our residents, and 28% are non-residents. Still transport vast majority to Dyer, 48%, followed closely by Franciscan Health Crown Point, and then Munster Community Hospital. We did bill out last month $55,557.69. That was the money's received. I apologize. The money we generated last month was $92,290.31. Referencing our fire calls, we had a total of 162. The vast majority, again, were in the corporate limits of the town of St. John with 124, the St. John zip code. 11 were in the town of St. John with the Dyer zip code. 5 were in the town of St. John with the Crown Point zip code. And 1 were in the town of St. John with the Cedar Lake zip code. We did do 12 in our contracted area of the township. Thank you, guys.
All right, Police Department, Chief?
Okay, from May 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2022, the members of the St. John Police Department logged 22,392 miles and responded to 610 law incidents. The investigation of these incidents led to 28 arrests, with 42 charges being filed. There were 324 traffic citations issued, along with 329 written warnings, for a total of 653 citations being issued during the month. Vehicle thefts totaled 0. Other thefts totaled 12,117, and recovered property was 0. As you see in the bottom there was $8,500 worth of stolen property and a ruse burglary, and other cases. We had currency and some electronics and building material that was taken. So that was the theft total. Also, we've been getting a lot of traffic complaints throughout town with speeding vehicles and so on and so forth. With the weather getting nice now, I just want the public to know that we're working on it. We can only be at so many places at one time. We do have some speed limit signs and radar trailers and stuff that we have to help us with this situation. We only have 2 or 3 of them, so as these complaints come in, it kind of goes on a list, and we just keep moving them periodically as time goes on. So with the traffic increase, the amount of people we have in town now, obviously this time of year the traffic complaints go up. So, but we're out there, we're working at it and doing our best, and we'll keep on top of it.
Okay.
Chief, what's the 7.1% not classified arrests?
Like, it's probably warrants, is what that is, a warrant arrest.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, old business, Fire Chief?
All right, let me pull my list. I don't know. Not in the whole thing. I apologize. So, old business. Just an update. We did swear Jeremiah in today. He was the last hire on our last list, so that list is totally exhausted now. Our new hire process is complete. So I'm looking for a approval of the list that we presented to you guys in your packet. This, can you pull it up or no?
All right, so we need a motion to approve the new hire list for 2 years.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion by Pat, second.
Oh.
Ray Paradisio, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The other approval that I'm looking for, so we were also in the middle of a promotional process. The promotional process went very well. It's the first time doing one for the fire department. We had 2 candidates successfully complete the entire process, and I'm looking for you to approve the promotional list.
It says it exhausted immediately. I'm a little confused here.
So there's a 2-year list, and we still have openings. So according to the general orders, if there's openings, we need to have an active list. So if we approve this list, these two persons will be promoted. I will have openings that we have to do another process here shortly. We had a couple candidates not pass the written portion of the exam, therefore they weren't able to proceed on.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the promotional list.
Have a motion, have a second?
I'll second.
By Rob Kometz, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, new business. Fire Department.
So you approved the new hire list. So as you guys are aware, Niko Vukovic, who was a hire with us about almost 3 years ago now, has accepted a spot in the Indiana University Medical. He's going to doctor school. I'm gonna mess it up. So he's leaving on the 28th. We're real happy for Nico. He's done great here. That's why I'm not a doctor. I can't speak English. He's a learning doctor. So anyway, Nico's leaving on the 28th. That's his last day. I'm looking if we could fill his position immediately with candidate number 1, and but with candidate number 14 on the list, who's in position 1. Candidate 14 is Frank Kosick. He is from Hobart Fire Department. He's a paramedic, was the only medic that applied, and would be a great fit for our department.
Okay, so what's the motion you're looking for?
A motion to offer Frank a position to fill our vacancy that we'll have on the 28th.
Okay, so I need a motion to offer employment to candidate number 14 in position 1.
What's his name again, Chief?
Frank Kosick.
Okay, cool.
I did send you guys another list this morning.
I got it,
That
yeah.
had like the matrix on the bottom. We do have some people on the list that are from other departments, so we kind of wanted to just keep numbers. So unfortunately in fire and police world, if you apply elsewhere and someone else finds out about it, you're not always treated equally or fairly. So kind of why we want numbers this year.
Good idea. I'll make that motion to hire him.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have Pat Miranda on the motion, Ray Paradis on a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next, Chief.
I'd like to formally promote Lieutenant Mike Haney. And if I could have a quick ceremony. I have a lot of stuff. Mike's been with the department now for 2 years, been in the fire service for what?
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt, Chief. Are these promotions supposed to be approved prior to them? Are they automatic? I'm confused here.
You approved the list.
Yeah.
We approved the list, but we didn't approve any promotions.
Okay.
Is that correct, Adam, or?
I think,
The general orders do state that if there's openings
Yeah.
and we have an active list, we were supposed to promote.
yeah.
Anybody want to discuss this, or?
Well, I understood it. He presented the list. I believe we made a motion on it, and so.
We made a motion to accept the promotion list, correct?
Right, and now there's time for promotions, or you want to promote this gentleman?
Yes, I think we need to make a motion to
Promote.
to promote the gentleman
That's
to
what I'm asking.
lieutenant.
We got to have the
Yes.
motion, I believe.
Just a little bit of jumping the gun a little.
Understood.
That's it. Okay.
I'm
Okay,
excited.
so, not to destroy anybody's evening, we'll get the request to have a promotion from the fire department list for Officer Haney, correct?
Correct, please.
Okay, so I get that motion?
I'll make the motion that we
motion
promote
by-
firefighter Haney to lieutenant.
Ray Paradisios,
second that.
second by Rob Kometz, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Could we do the next?
Yes, and now we have need a motion to promote Officer Clifford.
He'll be a lieutenant as well.
Firefighter to lieutenant.
Okay.
So move.
Okay, I got a motion from Rob Kometz,
I'll
second.
second.
Ray Paradisio, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. You want to do those two now then, or?
If that's good with you guys, or do you want to do it later?
No?
No? Okay. Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I was excited. Like I say, Mike has been with the fire department 2 years, been a firefighter for about 13. We got him from Hobart as well. Question? So Mike's getting a few things. He's getting his badge that says he's a lieutenant, and then his collar brass. Are we doing both of them, or just want to do the outside bunch for now?
Probably just the outside, be quicker for them.
What did he say, no cry?
Do it, Thomas. Get it, dude. I'll do it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You gonna hold it? Yes, right. Is that you?
And then we'll do group pictures at the end. We can do the email. Yeah. Firefighter Lieutenant Clifford. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Scott's in the POC division. Scott has been a huge asset, not only on the fire department with his fire department knowledge, but we do tap him a lot for his 9-to-5 job, tech stuff. So Scott has been a huge asset. One of the big things he really wants to do is work on firefighter recruitment. So one of Scott's big passions, so it'll be pretty good. I'm happy to have Scott in this position. Emily? I'm gonna go backwards. Yes, sir. I like checks here. I want to know too. And Scott, congratulations. Last but not least, Jack, give us your dad.
Give it to them out.
Thanks, Scott. Congratulations again. All right. All right, I apologize. I'm not done yet. I talk a lot again. I'd like approval to proceed with another promotional list. Like I said, our last promotional list, this is the first time that we did testing like this. I think it was a great process where we formally had a test to proceed on. They had to pass with a 75. We had some people that did not. We still have open positions. According to the general orders, I still have to have an active list in case someone does leave. We do have positions open for captain, battalion chief, and a lieutenant. So I'm looking for my idea would be to give them time to study and do this testing in September. So it gives them enough time to buy a book, study, hopefully have a better outcome with the testing process.
Okay, I need a motion then to go ahead and proceed with the new promotional list for the fire department.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ray Paradisio, second.
I'll second.
By Pat Moran, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'll get you an exact date per the policy next meeting, but I'm not anticipating anything till September. All right, last but not least, a favorable recommendation for ambulance purchase to the town council. I'd like to start first by apologizing on the oversight on my part with the engine purchase. We did present to the council last month. My months are really mingling in right now. That's my fault. I didn't bring it to the board for a favorable recommendation. There's no other thing for me to really say on that. With the ambulance purchase, so part of the reason we're bringing this up and why all this stuff is happening and so quickly is with the current climate of business, it's taking for an ambulance every bit of 550 days before we would see it. It's not even in this year's fiscal budget. It would be in year 2024, and it's in the 5-year plan. In year 2024, we will have exactly the amount that we're forecasting to purchase it outright if we want to do it with cash. Wouldn't be my suggestion, but that's also up to the council and you guys to lease it, because we do use out of the ambulance cume some of that for EMS purchasing. So say one of our monitors goes down or something like that, we use some of those funds only for EMS type purchases. So we did speak to 4 different companies. All our ambulances are going to be, all these proposals that I'm going to show you guys are Ford F-450s with 4x4, like our current new ambulance. Our current new ambulance was built in 2019. All these ambulances, the prices I'm going to give you guys do include the power load system. So all our ambulances now have a system that helps load the cot, reduces on back injuries from Stryker. We did have one put in our last new ambulance, and we found out if it's not done at the factory where it's being installed, we can have some issues servicing it, so it was an idea to roll that in with it. We have 4 conceptual drawings and 4 prospective quotes. We did reach out to 5 companies. One just didn't call us back.
Who are the 4 companies?
Who are the 4 companies I'm going to present to you? Osage, Horton, Road Rescue, and PL Customs. I also have a quote for a cot, so we'll need a new cot for this as well, and that comes from Stryker. All these places, some have already had price increases, some are expecting more price increases. That's something that we can't control again in this current climate. But if we could get in sooner than later, I was hoping to present this to the council in July, at latest August. We may be able to secure these prices I'm going to present to you guys today, which can save upwards of $40,000 to $50,000 in some of these cases. Just a little bit of review on this too. We've purchased new ambulances before. We're replacing a 2009, and we also have a 2010. My goal is not to replace 2 right away. That doesn't make good fiscal sense. The boxes on them are, the way we got these ambulances, the 2009, 2010, they were demos, so we were kind of forced to get them. We needed an ambulance at the time real quick. We were expanding our service. The box isn't what we normally would use. The 2009 box is in worse shape, so not only is it a little bit older, that's the one that we're looking to replace. All these ones that we looked at, we built with my idea of we're going to remount them. So the idea is the box generally doesn't have the box as a part of what I'm talking about. It's basically a truck with a big box in the back, right? So the box is where we do all the work. That could get remounted, refixed to another chassis down the road, and this is something that we're looking for with this new ambulance if we do down the road. We've never had, as a department, much input in this, so we have formed a committee. The committee consisted of 3 people, including Battalion Chief and EMS Director Tom McCauley, who's also here, could help answer questions if you guys have. This has had buy-in from the entire department, something that we've never had. So we asked everyone, hey, what do you want in the back of an ambulance? This is what it's like. So it's a little bit different than the ambulances we have, but it's built for going forward in the services we currently provide. With that being said, the Osage Ambulance is our recommendation. The cost for the Osage Ambulance comes out at $2,960. $296.83. I'm having a problem today. $296,083. That's their base price. There are some upgrades that they offer that other companies don't offer, and it still puts them at a fair market value. Those upgrades include the black wheels, black instead of chrome black. The reason we're doing that is for the hard water in St. John, if you go look at any of our trucks, which we wash every day, there are spots on them. The black reduces that. So it'd be black wheels and a black bumper, essentially. Red ambulance. Will match everything else. Roll-up doors and interior air purification cleaners, bringing the total for this ambulance to $310,054. Horton was another company that we looked at. Horton comes in at $300,203,000. Gosh. Numbers are hard.
Just say the numbers. 3002.
302,371. So the middle ambulance that we're looking at is Road Rescue. This is the one that there may be some contention. I can say this. This is $330,000. That just increased 7%. Road Rescue is what we currently have. This is from our local shop here in town. We still service all our rigs there. We would like to purchase in town, but this doesn't meet and have the offers of every other ambulance. So it's a little bit more. Yes, would I like to stay in town and purchase from in town? Absolutely. In fact, they were probably one of the best dealers to work with. They're just higher than everyone else. And I don't know if that's prudent to stay in town just because they're here. They still service any ambulance that we get. In fact, if we go with a different ambulance, each company said they will do on-site servicing, and if they can't fix it on-site, we'll send it to fire service in town.
Who's the fourth?
And the fourth is PL Customs, and I can say this too, it's $363,030.
You say 363?
$363.30. Each ambulance is, like I said, about 550 days out. This is in the 2024 or 2023 budget in the 5-year plan. So it's something that I like a favorable recommendation. I have conceptual drawings here if you guys would like to see them. But again, this is something I want you guys to look at. If you have questions, I could answer, or Battalion Chief McCauley could help answer some of them as well.
How much was the road rescue rig?
The road rescue is $330,000.
330.
So, and to be honest, to each of them, we have to add basically another 27 for the cot. So we'd roll that all into one.
I guess question for me is which ambulance do you prefer? I mean,
So I looked at all the drawings. I like the Osage, not only because, one, they're giving us air purification in the back, which some of the other companies aren't giving us. That's a big deal. So, knock on wood, COVID or whatever's next, we have that extra protection. UV light in the back, again, knock on wood, we don't need that, but it's reality. Some of the upgrades that they're giving on the outside, the roll-up doors, unfortunately, we drive relatively quick, and as hard as we try, we don't close every door sometimes, and there's accidents. Having roll-up doors, even if I don't close the door and pull out of the station, I'm not gonna hit it. Those upgrades would cost more on these other ambulances. So that's why I feel Osage is probably the best bet fiscally. I know it's hard, and we have, if Councilman Schilling was here, he'd make a big push for the road rescue because it's in-town fire service. They've done us well. We still work with them. We're not getting away from fire service, but their product is a little bit higher.
And that's not without all the
That's not with the extra
So
things.
that would be a lot more extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I guess it's just the box that we're looking at, because they're all going to be Fords, F550s, with 4x4 is what we're using now, because sometimes their winners are garbage.
Gas or diesel?
Diesel. All our other ambulances are diesel. Again, I'm trying to keep some continuity in the fleet as well.
Any other questions?
How are you presenting us tonight to look at?
Yeah, if you want to, I didn't print out all the, I mean, that's up to you guys. If you want to look at the nuts and bolts, I could give this to you guys, and you could look at that. Ideally, there may be a price increase, so I'd like to take an action on this by August at the very latest, July. I mean, if I could get on tomorrow, which I know I can't. Tomorrow would have been great, so I know I can't. So July, just to get it moving.
What type of price increase would be involved? do you
So they're saying anywhere from 7 to 10%.
I have a couple of questions. I'll ask you about this later.
Okay.
Personally, I don't need the specs. I wouldn't really much know the difference from an ambulance. As long as I'm not in the back of it, I'm pretty good with it.
I spent 36 years.
I don't know what anybody else feels about it.
If the chief and his crew want that one, I'm all about that. If you guys want that one, that's fine. Seems like you made a fiscal responsible choice, getting the lower end one. Where's that company located for service?
So Osage is out of Iowa, I believe.
And then they would send it, where's repairs take place?
Tom, is it Iowa?
Lynn, Missouri.
Missouri. Sorry, I'm not good at geography either, evidently. So they're out of Missouri. We'd still have repairs, big repairs take place at fire service. So fire service is still getting our business because A, they're in the backyard. They do good work and have repaired everything else we've had. So they'd still do that, but they do send a tech out. So they have a local tech they'd send.
But warranty work had to go to Missouri.
Yeah.
What about mechanical? That'd just go to Ford, right, for the mechanical?
So if there's anything, yeah, so that's the other weird part about this. If there's anything wrong with the actual truck part, that goes to Ford. If there's anything wrong with the box, we could probably do it at fire service.
Do they do like most other ambulances? If it does go in for warranties, a lot of them give you a loaner to use?
Yes,
during the
that's
time?
available.
Yeah, okay.
And again, we're lucky right now. We have
Short.
3. I'd maybe try to make that last one work. We're just getting busier and busier and busier. So if I have a 4th one in reserve, that's better for the town.
Okay.
But for warranty, you wouldn't be able to take it to fire services, correct?
No.
No, but they come out, they'll bring you a loaner, they'll pick it up and bring it back usually.
They come out, so that's the other cool part too. Any of these companies, if it wasn't road rescue, they'll come with another ambulance, give it to you if they have something comparable, and then they take it back and do it. So we're not sending someone out of town to Missouri to drop it off.
Well, if that's what you want, I would ask for a motion to approve or recommend to the town council that the fire department purchase the Osage Ambulance.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion that the safety board gives a favorable recommendation to the council for the purchase of the Osage ambulance rig.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion by Rob Comet, second Pat Moran. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, chief.
All right, as discussed in regards to the towing guidelines, there's a resolution that's in front of you to present, or I'm asking for a favorable recommendation from the Safety Board to the council, amending the towing guidelines for the town of St. John and increasing the not to exceed amount assessed for towing services. So as I said earlier, I would like to increase that from 125 to 185, and also extending the contract from 1 year to 2 years.
Quick question, Adam. I thought somewhere that, does this recommend to the council, or that we had the authority to approve that?
Well, as far as the charges that are incurred by the town, I don't believe there's any clear direction given by either Ordinance 1699 or state code. So, in my view, I would suggest that it be a recommendation to the town council, because the town council ultimately would establish the fees that would be charged for those services. So that's my thought. My recommendation would be that this board consider it, make that recommendation. The town council would also consider and approve that.
And then I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, just to number 2 for the 2 years, the same response then, or?
Yeah, as far as you mean going from 1 year to 2 years?
Right.
I think, again, I would also recommend that be considered by the safety board and ultimately approved by the town council. I know when the town previously had the police commissioners, which was disbanded by ordinance 1699 back in 2000, I believe there was a provision that suggested that the police chief meet with the towing service providers on an annual basis to review services and fees. But I believe the police chief, I believe the Board of Safety, as well as the town council has that discretion to allow that review to occur every 2 years, or at least for purposes of accepting bids. I think that can be done on a biennial basis rather than on an annual basis. But I do think I would suggest, well, I'm less concerned about the town council approval as far as the 1 to 2 years, but ultimately I think the town council should know what activities are going on, what the recommendation is, and should consider that at a town council meeting.
Sure. All right, well, that being said, then I would need a motion first to have the light duty towing rate increase from $125 to $185.
I'll make the motion, and we're going to make a recommendation to the town council. Correct?
Correct,
Okay,
on the
so
recommendation.
I'll make
to
a
the town
motion
council.
that the Board of Safety recommends the chief's increase to 185.
Motion, have a second?
I'll second it.
Have Rob Kometz, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Just a point of clarification, if I may. With respect to the increase, is there a public hearing required that precedes the adoption of that, or no?
No, I don't believe any public hearings required for the increase of the fees.
Okay, thank you.
And number 2, then we would need a motion to extend the tow contracts from 1 year to 2 years, a recommendation to the town council.
I'll make the motion to recommend extending the contract from 1 year to 2 years to the town council.
Okay, Rob Kometz, recommendation, motion, second?
Second.
Pat Moran, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have an upcoming retirement. One of our officers that's been with us for over 20 years, Officer Seidenbender. We're anticipating his retirement as of July 8th, 2022, so it's coming up here pretty quick. I discussed with a couple of you when we were going through the hiring process that this was going to be coming forward. So I'd like to move forward with replacing him. So that way, when he's done, it kind of cuts back on the time of having an officer down. So the next candidate on the lateral hire list would be, which I'll say his name because they already know about it, is Officer Stickles from Cedar Lake Police. So I'd like to get approval from you to move forward with getting him through his psychological and his medical, and doing a conditional offer pending he passes those and the retirement of Officer Seidenbender.
A quick question, since I've got a lot of numbers floating in my head, is that, okay, how many people do we have now with?
24.
24. Okay, and when he retires, it'll be 23.
Correct.
Okay, and we have an agreement that that number, other than circumstance, to be, okay. That's
Yep.
what I just wanted to double check.
Yep.
Yep.
So, okay, then, I would need a motion to proceed with replacing the officer who's going to retire as of July 8th on the emergency hire list.
I will make that motion.
Motion by Pat Moran, second.
I'll second it.
Rob Kometz, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, last, as I discussed with you several months ago, we are in the works of forming a South County crash team, which basically investigates serious injury accidents or fatal accidents. So we've been working on this for the last several months between us, Cherville, Dyer, Cedar Lake, and Lowell Police Departments, and Crown Point as well, forming a South County crash team. Because right now, as it stands currently, we rely on the Sheriff's Department, and they're so busy with their own crashes. We even got an email last week that they're not going to be able to help us if we get something serious. So we do have an officer, Officer Schaefer. He is our traffic officer, and he is certified in crash reconstruction. So he's a full crash reconstructionist. So we formed the MOU, which I forwarded to you for your review, and each town was supposed to bring it up to their councils as well to sign those. I know Dyer got theirs approved and signed last night, and the other towns are looking forward to moving forward and getting this signed by their councils as well. So, so it'll be probably each department is going to have at least 1 to 2 officers, depending on what kind of training they have. To be part of the team, you have to have some kind of reconstruction training, whether it's Crash 1 or Crash 2. Is that right, Daryl? Crash 1 and 2?
Yes,
okay. Or drone certified. So we have drones, and the way that works is the pilots put the drone up, and it takes pictures of your crash scene, and once the scene is photographed, we send that down to Purdue, and they give us a nice 3D drawing. You could take 3D pictures of the vehicles going around it. It's a pretty amazing program that they offer. So we're going to be using them as well too. So all the towns are coming together, pulling their resources together. Since we've started discussing this, there's probably been, I bet, close to 10 accidents where this team could have been used in one of those jurisdictions. So it's much needed now, even more now with the Sheriff's Department not being able to help us. So we're looking forward to getting this up and running, and I'm looking for a favorable recommendation from the Safety Board to present this to the council to be signed.
Chief, I just had a question. So let's say the team goes to Crown Point and does an accident there. Who files the charges if there's any to be?
Well, the team would. If there's,
files them?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. Yeah, just like the Major Crimes Task Force operates, it's very similar to that. They'll be called out with active 911. So whatever the case is, the team will do the accident and file the charges. So that way they're taking care of it all.
This team is run strictly on call-out then?
Correct.
Okay, and then how would the call-out work? I mean, would it be the off-duty guy versus taking a guy off the road?
It's just if they're available. If Officer Schaefer's working the road and he can't go, he can't go. But there's, like I said, Crown Point has officers that are Crash 2 certified. So there's several people that if one guy can't show up, somebody else has one that could fill in for him.
Okay. Like, who would handle, like, let's say there's an officer involved, major injury or fatality? Who handles
Good question. Good question. So it would probably be one of two, either the Sheriff's Department if they can help, if not, the Indiana State Police.
Okay. Are you going to need any additional equipment, like total stations or anything like that?
We already have the drone in that program that we have that I discussed. Crown Point does have some equipment. Cedar Lake has some equipment. The Crown Point mayor and the police chief have graciously gave us their VIPs, their EMA people. So they have a truck as well too that's going to have all kinds of equipment, cones, barricades, and anytime this team gets called out, the city of Crown Point's offered their EMA officers to help us with traffic control, so it doesn't tie up one of our officers with traffic. So all that equipment will be on. They're going to dedicate a truck to the team for us, which is a huge benefit and a huge help. But as time goes, I mean, sure, there's probably going to be some cost to it, adding some equipment. One of the things we do have to get is an iPad for Officer Schaefer to do the programs that he does and to document the scene. So that's one of the costs that we have. But right now, everybody has a piece of equipment to get it up and going, whether it's us or another jurisdiction.
there any plans where the team would buy the equipment and the cost would be shared?
Yeah, long-term goals, yes.
Because right now, it looks like Crown Point's gonna be busy, bringing
So-
all their stuff out wherever they got.
Yeah, so there, we're looking too, there's gonna be like an annual fee, if you will, to be part of the team, similar to, like I said, the SWAT team and the major crimes. So it'll be very similar to that, how that operates. And then hopefully, once we get some funds and, you know, if there's a piece of equipment, we could just use that money to buy it.
Anybody else? Okay, then I would ask for a motion to have a favorable recommendation to have the police department join the South County Crash Team.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Pat Moran, second.
I'll second.
By Rob Kometz, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You, public comment? And motion to adjourn
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
by Ray Paradiso, second.
Second.
Pat Moran, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Be careful.
Was that planned?
No, I wish. I wish I had that power.